Hello, lightsaber aficionados. After delving deep into the Sound Fonts tab in our previous tutorial, it's now time to turn our attention to the Blade Styles tab of the SaberTec Configurator. This tab centers around managing the set of light effects presets stored on your Saber's SD card. Much like the Sound Fonts tab, there are drop-down menus for selecting the blade style, the color profile, and the on-top effect. It's vital to note that every blade style encompasses distinct color profiles and on-top effects. An essential distinction is that modifications in the Blade Style tab only alter presets. Hence, while you adjust available blade styles, color profiles, and on-top effects, the immediate appearance of your saber may remain unchanged. These modifications merely adjust the available options you can browse on the fly and link to Sound Fonts. Adjacent to the drop-down menus are arrow buttons, facilitating quick preset navigation. Plus, there's an Add button to create a new preset and a Delete button to remove the chosen preset. When adding a new blade style, you can add a custom name to it. There is an additional drop-down menu that allows you to select the effect library. This option is particularly useful for advanced users, as it permits the management of multiple effect libraries that can be swapped out on the fly. As an illustration, you could set up an extended effect library and a simpler one, then easily toggle between them as needed. By default, the effect library chosen in the General Settings tab is selected, which is the one your saber will use. Beyond just managing the effect libraries on your saber's SD card, this drop-down menu also provides access to the online effect library. This online repository boasts blade styles that have been crafted and shared by our passionate community. Feel free to browse through it, and if a particular blade style catches your eye, you can readily download it to your saber. We'll delve deeper into this aspect later. Below the drop-down menus, you'll find sections that represent the different states the saber can be in. Examples include the ignition state, the basic state, and the clash state. Clicking on any of these sections will reveal the parameters that control the light effects exhibited while the saber remains in that specific state. The displayed parameter values are associated with the selected blade style, color profile, and on-top effect. If you want to save the changes that you made to the parameter values, you need to click on the Save button in the upper right corner. If you want to restore the parameter values from your saber, you need to click on the Restore button. Taking the basic state as an example, you'll observe that the parameters are divided into two distinct subsections, background and on top. The background subsection encompasses all parameters determining the blade's foundational appearance, including its color and structure. Here, there are two drop-down menus. The initial one lets you choose the background effect, forming the foundation of the blade style. You have 6 distinct background effects to select from: Classic, Color Flow, Frozen Pulse, Wave, Flame Blade, and Gradient. For each effect, an extensive list of presets is accessible via the second drop-down menu. Once you've pinpointed a suitable preset, you can retain it in its original form or customize it further. Below these menus are the editable parameters, with the most pivotal ones relating to the blade's color, falling under the color profile. Always remember that you are currently editing the selected combination of blade style, color profile, and on-top effect. That means, when you change the parameter values that define the color, for example, and click on the Save button, this change will be saved to the currently selected color profile. For a more granular customization experience, click on Customize Further to display an expanded list of adjustable parameters. In this tutorial, our spotlight is on readily available presets and the quintessential parameters, chiefly the color. We'll embark on a brief expedition of the presets tied to different background effects, starting with Classic. Subsequently, we'll delve into Frozen Pulse, followed by Wave, then Color Flow, Flame Blade, and finally, Gradient. After exploring the background effects, let's delve into the on-top subsection, which contains the parameters specifying the overlay effect applied to the blade. Similar to the background section, there are two drop-down menus. The initial one allows you to select one of the 6 on-top effects: focus deflection, thunderstorm, kylo blade, unstable blade, magnetic flare, and shockwave. Of course, you can also choose not to apply any on-top effect. The second drop-down menu lets you browse through available presets of the selected on-top effect. Below, the most important parameters of the chosen on-top effect are displayed. You can unveil even more parameters by clicking on Customize further. Let's briefly go through some of the on-top effect presets as an example. Remember that the background effects and on-top effects can be combined with each other. Let's have a look at some examples. To conclude our detailed exploration of the background and on-top subsections, it's crucial to highlight two key buttons situated beneath the Effect Library drop-down menu: Copy Color Profiles and Copy on-top Effects. These buttons facilitate the copying of color profiles and on-top effects from one blade style to another, making it easier to maintain consistency across different blade styles. For instance, if you adjust the color for color profile 1 to green and save your changes, pressing Copy Color Profiles will prompt a new window. Here, you can choose the blade styles to which you'd like to transfer the updated color profiles, including the changed color profile 1. However, it's crucial to note that copying color profiles is limited to blade styles with the same background effect. The configurator simplifies this by only displaying compatible blade styles from which you can choose. Conversely, Copy on-top effects allows the transfer of on-top effects to any blade style without such restrictions. We've now wrapped up our discussion on the background and on-top subsections. Note that these subsections appear in every section that represents a particular state the Saber can be in. However, in all sections apart from the one denoting the basic state, there are supplementary subsections, which we'll delve into next. Take the section illustrating the clash state, for instance. Here, beyond the familiar background and on-top subsections that delineate the Saber's appearance after triggering a clash, there's an added subsection titled Fade to Basic. This subsection contains the parameters detailing how the clash effects transition back to the basic effects. You can envision this as customizing the style of the cooldown phase for the clash effects. Before styling the transition, let's set the clash color to white. Now, moving to the parameters. Duration indicates how long the clash effects show, relative to the clash sound duration. A value of 0 means no clash effects, while a value of 100 indicates the effects last as long as the clash sound. For brief effects, a value of 10 might be apt. Fade out describes the clash effect's transition smoothness back to basic. A value of 0 gives an abrupt shift, and a value of 100 provides a smooth fade throughout the clash effect's duration. Fade-out type dictates the fade-out spatial structure. Options like unstable fading or classic are available. The localized setting limits clash effects to a certain blade area, revealing more parameters. Size sets the area width for confined clash effects. Minimum position and maximum position. These percentages dictate the range where clash effects might appear on the blade. Speed controls clash impact behavior. A value of 0 keeps it localized, while other values make the impact split and sidewardly expand at the chosen speed. These are the most important parameters of the subsection fade out. However, we need to make clear that there is a difference in the subsection fade out in the section swing. Instead of the parameter duration, there are the parameters motion sensitivity and motion range. This is because during a swing, light effects usually do not change. But sometimes it can be nice to have custom swing light effects that get stronger the harder the swing is. The parameter motion range sets the sensitivity of the saber to the swing. The minimum value is the minimum speed at which the saber needs to be moved to display the swing light effects. The maximum value is the maximum speed at which the saber needs to be moved to reach the most pronounced swing light effects. An example could be a blade that turns white while swinging. The faster the swinging is, the whiter the blade would be. With this, we conclude our discussion of the fade-out subsection. Note that every section representing a saber state, except for the basic state, includes this subsection. Now, we'll turn our attention to the ignition section. This section is particularly notable as it contains two additional subsections not found in any other section. Let's delve deeper into these unique features. Upon opening the ignition section, you'll notice two checkboxes. The first checkbox determines whether the selected blade style employs custom ignition effects, such as a unique ignition color. When activated, the saber utilizes the ignition effects set within this section. The second checkbox decides if custom preon effects should be applied. If checked, the saber employs the light effects from the ignition section during preons as well. Now, focusing on the two distinctive subsections, ignition type and retraction type. Within these, you can tailor the ignition and retraction styles. Here are some primary parameters. Stuttering mode. Various modes are available for creating a stuttering effect during ignition. Tip flash. Imagine the blade lighting up from the bottom to the top in a red hue. As this red column extends upwards, there's a distinct color, say white, right at the forefront of this expansion. This leading spot of a different color is the tip flash, moving upwards as the primary color expands. The size parameter determines the span of this distinct color at the tip. Base flash. This setting allows for a flash at the blade's base during ignition. Similar to the subsection ignition, the subsection retraction allows you to choose a stuttering mode as well. Finally, let's briefly discuss the possibility to share a blade style that you created. When you have designed a blade style and would like to share it with the community, you can do that by clicking on the Share button in the upper right corner. Make sure to save the blade style first. This will open a window asking you to enter a name for the blade style and a password that you can use to edit it later. By clicking on the Share button, you upload the blade style to the online effect library. Similarly, you can browse the online effect library by selecting the option Online Effect Library in the Effect Library drop-down menu. Let's briefly do that as an example. When you found a blade style that you like, you can click on the download button in the upper right corner. This will open a window asking you to select the effect library on your SD card to which you would like to add the chosen blade style. After clicking on the Save button, it will be downloaded. With that, we've reached the conclusion of this tutorial on managing blade styles for your lightsaber. Remember, the Force is strong with those who dedicate time to learning and mastering their saber's capabilities. So, be sure to check out additional tutorials to elevate your saber mastery to new heights. May the Force be with you as you continue to explore the boundless possibilities of your saber's customization.